Did I hear somebody say weeaboo? I'm an event organizer for anime conventions, part number 3, The Prophet. If you've missed parts 1 and 2, those links in the description. I'm back again with another story, but this time it's just gonna be one long tale. So before we get started, I just wanted you guys to know that I showed my team my earlier posts, and so far, they don't really mind being in an internet story. How about a YouTube video? At least as long as I keep making my stories vague. Also, they really had a good time reading all your comments, including Sakura, who even received some hate from a few of you guys. A bad take, if I do recall. She didn't mind any of that, however, but she did blame me for writing poorly about her description. I was recently talking to them and reminiscing of the weeb encounters we've had over the years, and Sakura immediately reminded me of this one. Please bear in mind that this story is a bit special for me and my team. Sounds like a good place to come back in on, I guess. Before the story starts, you can check the previous ones in the description, as I said. If this is the first time you're reading this post, also, here's a list of the people who will be appearing in my stories. We'll go ahead and throw that up on the screen, but I've already read it before in previous posts, even if the audio is a little bit crunchy there. So yes, The Prophet. I think this story is already a giveaway, and some people would easily guess where this happened, and if you do, please don't be that guy, and just keep it to yourself. At this one really huge and major convention, there was this one lady who my team dubbed as The Prophet. As to why? Well, it's mainly because she goes every time to this specific convention where lots of con-goers, both local and foreign alike, go to. Okay, but what is she prophesizing? She looks very decent. I'd say like a 6.5 out of 10, and usually wears a conservative dress. If by any chance you immediately imagined a Mormon, well, yeah, you're spot on. The most defining characteristic she has is that she always wears a top hat, similar to Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat. And she also carries a laptop around. What? Okay, stranger and stranger. She never buys a ticket, so she never goes inside the event hall. She just loiters around the vicinity of the venue where she does her thing. The thing that she does is basically give religious speeches about her god, who is in fact an anime character. Oh, not like this. Here are some of her philosophical and religious lines. Anime god is always watching over us. She sees everything we do. For this reason alone, we must avoid doing unnecessary evil, for this deeply saddens Anime God. Okay, well, I guess Anime God is watching me jerk it then. Anime God feels our pain, the world's suffering, and is in a constant battle to keep our dimension from being savaged by otherworldly beings. Okay, so Anime God's in a fatal 4-way match with Cthulhu, the flying spaghetti monster, and John Cena. I think John Cena has the advantage. Nobody could see him.
And his name is John Cena!
She's our salvation, our mighty protector. Her light reaches every heart and punishes whoever dares block it and unleashes her wrath upon them.
Okay, I guess Anime God and Satan are kind of tight then. I mean, whatever your reason for not doing bad things, I guess hang on to that. I wonder if she's actually converted anybody in this way. Terrifying thought. Now, I don't really go around and ridicule other people's beliefs, but I admit that I actually made fun of the Prophet the first time that I heard her. I mean, it is pretty ludicrous. Anyways, she goes around and spreads Anime God's teaching all over outside of the venue in a moderately loud voice. Whenever her throat gets tired, she uses her laptop instead. She holds it with the screen facing away from her and plays a montage of the anime character, complete with music and a record of her speeches on top of it. That's one way to do it. Being a girl, she's also a very easy target for bullies. There are times when people shout at her or tell her to screw off, call her a freak, and make fun of her. When this happens, she just apologizes to them and goes to a different spot to preach. Oh, so she's like super respectful. Okay, I could totally get behind that. You leave this girl alone. Going back to my team, we usually check in hotels near the venue during a con, but there are also times that we just camp indoors inside of the event hall and sleep in the staff booth. What a savings! The first time my team encountered the Prophet, I remember it was a time that we were camping indoors. It was also back in the day when the anime of her, quote, god was still in the mainstream. Inuyasha, is that you? It was the night before the event, and my team just finished setting out our sleeping bags. Snake, Sakura, and Muscle Bro 3 went outside to have a smoke before going to sleep. Now, for those of you who might not know, with an event as big as the one we are handling, some con-goers tend to camp outside the venue the night before the event starts. They line up early in front of the entrance and set up the camps there. Well, it's your life, live it how you want, I guess. Snake, Sakura, and Muscle Bro 3 went to the spot where there were benches to smoke and chill out. A few benches away, Muscle Bro 3 noticed a lone girl wearing a striped top hat and wrapped in a blanket who was trying to sleep while sitting straight up. Muscle Bro 3 approached the girl.
Hey, miss, you really shouldn't be sleeping here. Didn't your friends bring a tent or something?
No, I'm here by myself.
Well, you could freeze here, you know?
It's okay. Anime God's love is enough to warm me.
What?
No, all right. I know that sounds bad.
Oh boy. It does beg a question, but I think the right thing to do is say, okay, cool, and back away. Muscle Bro 3 is into a lot of video games, but not really into anime, so he didn't understand the reference. Neither did I, because I also prefer gaming to anime. Nonetheless, he tried to persuade the girl to at least move closer to where the campers were, but she declined. Realizing that he couldn't really do anything, he just went back to where Snake and Sakura were and decided to go back inside and sleep. On the way back, Sakura asked what the deal is with that girl.
I don't know. She said she's got anime god to take care of her. Probably a friend.
Sakura immediately understood who this anime god the girl is referring to was, and picked up quickly that she got it from that particular anime, which was very popular at the time. I heard their story after they came back, but I basically shrugged it off. Fast forward to the morning, 1 hour before the event, Muscle Bro 3 and Snake were on duty for crowd control outside. A lot of people are already there, and the campers are now frontlining the line to the entrance. Muscle Bro 3 was stationed at the other end of the line, while Snake was up by the entrance. It was then that Muscle Bro 3 saw the Prophet in action, giving her religious speech while the con-goers on the line just basically ignored her. Hearing her say Anime God's name together with the picture of her laptop screen, Muscle Bro 3 pieced the puzzle together and figured that she is legitimately a nut job praising an anime character. I really wish this is the first time that we'd seen something like that. But it happens more often than you think. By protocol, Muscle Bro 3 is only allowed to stop people who are causing trouble to others, but seeing her just being ignored, okay, he decided to just let her be. He radioed Snake and had him hear some of her speeches, to which Snake responded, "If she's not bothering anyone, then just let her be." Fun fact, Snake also likes the anime that Anime God is in. I don't think that should factor into the decision, though. My whole team primarily works inside the event hall, where most of their skills are needed. We only go outside of the venue itself and get some sunshine when we have new equipment coming in or guests arriving, but this is just limited on the venue's RDU, which is the receiving and dispatching unit, usually on the back of the building where the back door is.
Yes! Please give us the sunshine, precious!
Or something like that. The only person who can actually go outside of the venue and openly walk around is Snake. Whenever I task him to find someone or buy some equipment that we need, this is how Snake usually sees the Prophet, and he learned more about her. After 3 days, the event ended with only a few minor hiccups. Fast forward to the next year. Our organization is back to help out the same event. My team checked into a hotel this time around, thankfully. On the day of the event, I somehow managed to go outside the venue and grab some lunch at a fast food restaurant nearby. My team stayed in the event hall, but I had 2 other staff members who wanted to join me at lunch. And this was my first time seeing the Prophet, whom I had only heard stories of. I found it really funny, but again, so long as she doesn't cause trouble to people, I still consider her a customer, even if she doesn't have a ticket. That's fair, she exists, she spends money. She also adds a certain vibe to the line. I don't know if that's good or bad. So every time we come to this event, once every year, my team always expects to see the Prophet, and we look forward to hearing new speeches from her. Every time Snake goes outside, he can easily find the Prophet. He'll just stand close to her and pretend that he's surveying the area. Then he'll open up his radio channel and tells us to switch our team's private channel. We can then hear all of her religious mumbo-jumbo, and seriously, it stopped being funny for us. But it just became sort of a tradition. A religious tradition? Whenever we go do this event, we make sure to hear her new speeches, and it actually does put a smile on our faces. The Prophet didn't know about any of this, however. As far as she knows, she's just being ignored or cast out as a freak. For years, we didn't see the Prophet buy a ticket and even once go inside the venue. She'd probably be doing the same thing inside the venue, really. There was this one time where Sakura and I were burning ourselves out during the peak of that event. It was due to the fact that the analyst team failed to forecast the number of people who were coming in and didn't expect that they would exceed the number of what they had initially forecasted. Day 1 was hell for us, and we had to work overtime, which was not paid, to finish the reports on that day. We only had like 3 hours of sleep until we started day 2. That's why you make the big bucks, I guess. Day 2 started, and disaster came early, as Sakura woke up with a bad stomach due to her period. She declined taking the day off, and said that she could still work, even though I insisted, so we decided to just YOLO the event. Fast forward further into day 2, and boom! Crowds come in with the same number of people as yesterday, and I thought to myself, this is going to be yet another hellish day for us. But, on the peak of that event, Snake came in on the radio and asked us to go to the private channel for a minute, and we knew exactly what was coming.
Anime God, the ultimate creator, is always watching over us. She never stops looking over us and is always ready to listen to what our hearts need to say.
That really made me giggle, listening to the Prophet, but in the middle of her speech, I heard a sniffle. I looked at Sakura and I actually saw her tearing up. I didn't know why at first, but she said,
"I'm just really tired right now. And I just really wanted this day to end, but I can't imagine leaving you guys and going home after saying that I can still do my job. I mean, I even cursed out you guys and you still care about me. The least I could do for you guys is to do my best here, where I know I can actually help."
Well, it does seem to me only tangentially related, but the Prophet is speaking to her heart. I stopped doing work and gave Sakura a hug to calm her down.
"I'm sorry if I started crying out of nowhere, but hearing the Prophet just made me realize that despite being apart, we're all connected when we're listening to this lady."
And that actually is true, because during events, my team is usually scattered. Sakura and I are always on the staff booth, the Muscle Bros work the stage, and I have them dispatched individually depending which task is at hand, and Snake is always on patrol whenever he doesn't have an active task. OP says, "Hey, you heard that, bro? Her speeches are getting really good, you know?" Snake radioed in, giving out a joke. I don't know what went on in my mind back there, but I responded, "Hey, can you give that lady the radio? I want to talk to her. Oh, snap. What did she say? I'm dying to find out too, but first I wanted to remind you, if you are enjoying the content, to please like, comment, subscribe, maybe share the video around. So, Snake hands the prophet the radio without even asking why. Hello? Who is this? Hi, I'm OP, and I'm actually part of the event staff. The guy who gave you the radio saw you were outside for quite a while now. Are you alone? Don't you have any friends with you? No, sir, I don't. I'm sorry, am I in trouble? No. What I'm actually saying here is that you might be tired of the heat there, outside. Why don't you come over here, inside? But I don't have a ticket. The guy with you will give you one. Just come inside here, okay? Really? Okay. All right, give the radio back to the guy and we'll see you soon. Now that is a feel-good turn of events. She put in her time. Since this is my team's private channel, everyone heard what I had just said. Muscle Bro 1 responded,
You sure about that, boss? The big boss might get mad.
OP says, meh, we misplace tickets every day. How's one gonna hurt? The Muscle Bros laughed and we're all pretty much on board. I told Snake, and it wasn't a surprise that he was as well. He then escorted the lady into the event hall, told the staff by the door that she's with him, and gave her a ticket bracelet. She's probably wanted to go in for so long. This is probably such a huge moment for her. I love this. Upon entering, the prophet wholeheartedly thanked Snake. She was teary-eyed and really touched with this small gift that we had given her. Snake told her, all right, now you have a bigger audience to spread the word of Anime God. Enjoy the event. Fast forward to the end of the event. Sakura and I still have a ton of paperwork to do. I radioed Snake and asked if the prophet was still there. Give me a sec. Oh, there she is. What do you want me to do, bro? Call her. Ask her to go over by the food area. It's time for a meet and greet. I radioed the Muscle Bros to stop whatever they were doing and to meet us at the food area for a short debriefing. She really built a name for herself, I guess. A few minutes later, Sakura, I, and the Muscle Bros arrived and saw the prophet with Snake. I spoke first and greeted her. Oh, I remember you. You're the guy on the radio. Yeah, I am. How was the event? Did you like it? She didn't respond, but instead started crying again. Oh man. ReddX's heart grew 3 sizes this day. It's a really feel-good story, man. The prophet was really thankful for being let inside the event. She said that she doesn't have money to buy a ticket every year and that her budget for the trip to the event, including her meals, was already a stretch. She never actually expected that she would go inside and experience what the event felt like for everyone else. My team then grabbed a table and ordered some food. We started talking to her and introduced ourselves one by one. While listening to her and exchanging conversation, you really wouldn't expect that she was mentally ill. Every time she brought up Anime God in the conversation, we actually didn't bother her with it or try to make fun of her. She broke through all of your reservations about what you thought you knew about this girl. Super interesting, dude. Muscle Bro 3, who also watched the anime that Anime God was in after his first encounter with the prophet, said that he really liked it. Snake added that he really liked the anime that Anime God was in too, which made her really happy, and started asking questions about which episodes they like or about the ending, etc. After at least a couple of gleeful minutes of conversation, Sakura started to change the mood. Hey, prophet? You know what? I want to sort of thank you as well. Huh? What for? I think you noticed that this year the crowd just got a lot bigger. Some of us weren't actually at our 100% earlier. You might not know it, but our job can be really freaking stressful, especially with a crowd like yesterday and earlier. I don't know how to say it, but you actually did help me getting to my 100% earlier. I can't say exactly how you did that, but I wanted to say thanks. I hope you can continue visiting our event. Please take this. Sakura then handed her a plushie of a chibi anime god. Sakura added, we might have different gods, but I definitely know my god would bless you just as much as your god does. God, what a moment. I love everything about this story. I thought I was gonna get some cringe. No, I got some real feel-good moments right now. The prophet hugged Sakura and cried again, explaining again how thankful she was and that she couldn't believe that people like us existed. To tell you the truth, even I actually had tears welling up in my eyes at that time. No shame in crying, bro. Before we parted ways, we took a group picture on her laptop. The prophet also gave Snake a USB which had all of her anime god speeches up until that date. Sakura told her that if she comes next year, she'll make sure to give her another ticket so she can come inside. Saying that, she gave me a particular look, which I just nodded and let her be. During the time of this post, it's been 9 years since we first saw the prophet, and as of now, she is now just a regular person who likes anime. And alcohol. Yeah, she likes alcohol. From religious figure to party animal. Different strokes, I guess. Snake still has her USB, and although he doesn't really use it, he keeps it inside of his bag and considers it like a good luck charm from a magical prophet. Sakura, Muscle Bro 3, and Snake eventually exchanged numbers with the prophet and became good friends that meet up from time to time to drink. What else? Maybe you guys could watch the anime. Bro, what if we watch the anime while drinking? This is the prophet's story. And on behalf of my team and the ex-prophet herself, we hope that you enjoyed this one. Just want to clear some things out. Most of these stories are retellings, mostly from Snake. That guy always gets the action. And I only end up getting involved at the end when things get escalated to me, and I have to deal with the paperwork for it, you know, blacklisting, equipment damage, etc. I'm paraphrasing a whole lot in the dialogue, and yeah, some of it's just made up. I did that so I could make the story more interesting and hopefully give a good laugh to whoever reads it. There are times that I say, this is exactly what he or she said, which in that case, it actually is what they said. I don't necessarily think a bit of creative liberty is a bad thing. Entertainment first, realism a distant second, however you get us from point A to point B, that's okay. We don't need to have confession in the post. If you find that these stories seem too good to be real, I have no intention of forcing you to believe me. Too good to be real. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far. I can't deliver pictures or give out credible information to gain further proof that this stuff that I'm sharing is real. If you want to call BS, that's fine. I won't try and painstakingly explain myself on the internet. That's exactly what you're doing right now, dude. You had me looped in for so long until the end. He just spills all this stuff out. Just let it rest. We could have ended it without any of the last 4 paragraphs, but okay. I want to share these stories so people can get sort of an idea of how just a pinch of craziness can affect such a public event. All this time, these stories have stayed within my team, other staff, a few close friends of mine outside of the organization. I've never even thought about posting them on the internet, much less here at WeeabooTales, where stories like these are both appreciated and hated, but hopefully they still give an entertaining kick to the reader. Enough with the sappy outro, here's part number 4, which we'll get into at some point down the road. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Follow me on all the things, I appreciate you so very much. Patreon list reading coming up shortly, so thank you for your patience on all that. Always remember, friends, you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, friends, bye-bye.